Yay! Yay!
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Oh, it says my microphone is
Huh?
I had a pop-up that said my microphone is not working.
Yeah, I don't have you muted.
Hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're on. I'm looking at you. Yeah. All right. We're already live. Ha ha. So we're going to be this is Sisters with Sense. I'm TJ. This is Diva in Demand right here. And we're talking about entertainment and current events and all kinds of stuff like that.
I am
So
back. I'll be back. Woohoo! Uh-oh. Wine glass got caught. Cheers. This is my this is my 23 ounce wine glass from
okay.
Crate and Barrel. I have a set of them. They are huge. Somebody made a comment to me. That's a big ass wine glass. Why, yes, my dear, it is. It is a big ass wine glass. And this is I might be mispronouncing it because I bought it so long ago. I don't remember how they pronounced it at the tasting, but a Vouvray, Vouvray,
Uh-huh.
actually a region in France. And so on the bottle, the type of Vouvray it is identifies the level of sweetness. I don't know what
Okay.
this is. I just been drinking a lot of red wine and wanted some white, and I had this in the refrigerator chilled already. Um, and if people say, how much will fit in that? Okay, so this I just took a sip. So this level here, 3 glasses at this level empty a bottle.
Okay.
Give you any idea? Yeah,
It's good to have a larger glass to aerate the wine anyway. I mean,
that's true.
so
So yeah, and I have been drinking. I don't know if I told you this, but I joined, and I told you, but I haven't told a lot of people. But I joined Junior League of Tulsa this year. I'm trying to be more composed on the show because I'm now sharing it with my Junior League friends. Um, every function we have, there is wine. Every function. We volunteer at the Pencil Box. It's a free teacher store that we're going to be opening. We're going to be helping open in the spring. We pull weeds out of the ground. We find cat remains. We clean bathrooms, and then we sit down and have wine. Every function,
okay.
every
Well,
meeting, every committee meeting, there's wine. But typically it's red. We
hmm.
drink a lot of red wine. So I was on red wine overload. So I wanted a nice crisp white. And it's not very dry in my opinion. Now I'll say this, I am not the typical. I am atypical in that I like a dry white and sweet red. I've had
Okay.
sommelier tell me I'm very backwards. But it's not a Pinot, it's not a Grigio, it's not it's not buttery like a Chardonnay. I think I would put it in between. This is going to sound crazy, but I would put it between a Pinot Gris and a Riesling because I
Okay.
feel like there's a hint of sweetness. When I opened it, I could smell some honeysuckle, but I can also taste the acidity. So it's nice.
That sounds a lot like a Riesling, actually.
Mm.
Okay.
So I love it. I'm happy. This is my second glass. It's good to be back.
Okay.
I know we lost one and got one. Uh, I have missed y'all. It's been crazy. Like I said, with Junior League, with being a first year provisional member, there are a lot of provisional activities. If you follow me on Instagram or my Diva in Demand Facebook page, you'll see some of the wreaths I've been working on for the holiday market. And then being on the Spring Gala committee, I'm actually on the after party and auction subcommittee. So working on we're gonna have, if you live in the Tulsa area or you're gonna be in the Tulsa area February 28th, the auction items, awesome. The after party, I got 2 words for you: belly dancers. Uh huh. Yeah. So, and then studying for the CPA, and then work, and then residual work from the last place that I was telling you about. It's crazy. And do you know Christmas is around the corner? And that means my birthday is around the corner.
Yes, it
No,
is. It really is.
Thanksgiving is around the corner. So
Yeah.
I'm
And
getting
Christmas is around the other corner.
right. It's like the quarter left. I'm getting my dining room table custom built.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my dad's best friend, the guy who's my mechanic, he used to build houses. So I bought the wood, and screws, the supplies. He's going to build it. So it's going to be what I want for what I can afford instead of getting what I can afford and it not being what I want. So Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is at Casa de la Diva.
Okay.
It has been the last ever since my aunt passed away. I've hosted Thanksgiving. I took over from her, but uh, the I compressed the menu. We're not doing all that. I'm not, and I don't want to ask people to bring stuff and then they get an attitude and then I get mad. So I just do it all, but I do what I can. So turkey dressing, mashed potatoes and gravy, greens. I think this year I'm gonna add some carrots to the mix, broccoli
Okay.
roll, a sweet potato pie, and a sour cream pound cake. And I thought about, we always had these rolls. I'm not a big bread person. I don't know if you know that about me. I am not a big bread person. Started thinking the other day, why do we need rolls at Thanksgiving? So you can be just completely and absolutely gluttonous and sop up the gravy off the plate. No, not this year. I refuse. There would be no bread in Thanksgiving dinner, okay? So if you're coming to dinner and you feel like you need some bread, you might bring a slice in your purse because there won't be any here. No. And your beverage options are wine and tap water.
Wow. Okay.
Not going out of my way. I mean, it's filtered tap water. And you might need to bring ice. I got 2 trays. So
Why not designate somebody to bring beverages? I know that's not any trouble. That's like pick up a 2 liter here and there. That is not that much trouble.
the person I asked to bring beverages last year didn't come. The person I asked to bring beverages the year before, when she got here, dinner was over. Mm, you know, these are my people. It's not. Let me tell you a story. I have asked my mother to bring the mashed potatoes every year. So this is my 4th year hosting, okay? So for 3 years, I asked my mother to bring the mashed potatoes. The first year, she bought green beans. Right.
Okay, that's
So,
not mashed potato.
right. So I'm sending Rollo to the store to get some potatoes so we can mash them up real quick. The second year, she brought green beans. But we had learned our lesson, so Rollo and I had the potatoes ready to go ahead and mash them up. Last year, after an intense argument, she finally brought mashed potatoes. They were horrible. If you knew you could make mashed potatoes, don't
Why
wait
not
till you
just say it?
just tell me you can't make mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, your beverage options are wine and tap water. Welcome to Thanksgiving dinner. And then so I don't have a dishwasher, right? My little house don't have a dishwasher. And I was hesitant to host last year because I don't have a dishwasher. And you people don't like to do dishes. So everything was disposable. I have cut people off over dishes before. Everything's disposable. Everything is disposable except the gravy pot and the greens pot. Okay? Disposable.
Sounds good to me.
Tablecloth, everything. So about a certain time, because I do Black Friday shopping. And last year shopping started Thanksgiving night. So at a certain time when I was ready for everybody to go, I go to one end of the table, I pick up the disposable tablecloth and roll everything up in it. Go in the trash can. Thanks for coming. Bye. Yeah. And I've moved dinner up this year. Dinner is at 2. 2. By 4.
You all like, I need to get y'all out the house so I can get down to Macy's What?
Don't play Old Navy where everything in the store is half off. Right. Dinner's at 2. Play crazy and show up at 3:30 if you want. The door will be locked at 4. Hmm. La la la. So that is what's going on over here in Casa de la Diva. What's been going on with you?
Just just juggling people, juggling elementary stuff and high school stuff, and that's what's been going on.
2 in high school, 2 in elementary, right?
Yep.
Freshman, senior, or sophomore, senior?
Freshman, senior.
Okay. So how does that work? Is the senior too cool for the freshman? Because I know my freshman is kind of edgy. I mean, you know.
The senior was born too cool for the freshman, so nothing's changed there. The freshman, like you said, is edgy and he doesn't want to hang with anybody anymore. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing.
You tell the senior he is not too cool for my freshman. My freshman is edgy.
Ain't none of them cool. None of them are cool. Y'all still living in my house. Y'all ain't cool. Y'all ain't cool.
Oh, bless their heart. Bless their heart. Okay, where to start? So, can I start? I've been missing the weekly updates on how to get away with murder. I got two things to say. The first one is I feel tricked because the whole time they were promoting the show, they kept saying, brought to you by the producers of Scandal, or the same people who brought you Scandal. They never just came out and said Shonda Rhimes' punk ass made a new show. That's one. And it's my fault for not thinking more, higher level and saying the same people who brought me Scandal was Shonda Rhimes. That was my fault. But I felt tricked. Number two, I disowned Shonda last year. I wrote my goodbye letter. We broke up. Why do all of Shonda's leading ladies have to be whores? What the hell? What is that? If she
She
looks
got
after
love
six
for him. I ain't gonna
fantasy
lie.
whores, I mean,
She,
Grey's Anatomy. Meredith was a whore. I mean, you can portray her however the hell you want to right now, but she met her husband in a bar over some tequila shots. And she slept around. She was a whore.
okay, she didn't know that. Okay, when she met that guy, she didn't know he was married. Yes, she was a bit easy.
I'm not
She was a
even
bit
talking about the
easy.
married part. I'm talking about the 2 shots of tequila later. They in the car getting it in. That's what I'm talking about.
Shoot,
Private
they all
property.
eventually get around to a married man. Let's talk about that for a minute. They all got to think for married dudes. What's up with that?
You're right. I was gonna say Addison dated. I had a problem with Addison on Private Practice when she started dating her best friend's ex-husband. But you're right. She did fall for a married guy. She met him because his wife came to her when she was pregnant. You're right. And then you got Olivia Pope.
I mean, but shoot, okay, Addison, not only did she do that, but before that, she was married to a dude messing with his
And
best
sleeping with
friend.
his best
Okay,
friend.
okay.
You're right. You're right.
I
Or
mean,
yeah, yeah. Or and then you got Olivia Pope, who I was the reason I disowned Shonda. And then you give me Viola Davis. Viola Davis. You give me Viola. And in the first episode, she got her leg cocked up. And of all the things you could have done with Viola Davis, that's the direction you chose to go in? I, I'm listening. Go ahead.
um, I don't like the fact that, she was getting it in. I mean, and that was just so wrong on so many levels because this was a detective who she works with as a lawyer. Hello, conflict of interest. But I mean, it was just so wrong on so many levels. But on another level, it's like Viola Davis is being shown as I mean, her roles are usually asexual. What's up with that? I mean, it's 2014.
Are they?
Yeah, watch The Help.
No, no.
Okay, I mean,
Hell
I'm
no.
not watching it. I'm not watching it, but
Who
you
got that? No,
know,
pick something else. No, I'm not watching.
either the one with Meryl Streep,
Which
Doubt.
one's
I think it
Meryl
was
Streep?
Doubt, the one she won the Oscar nomination for, the first Oscar nomination for. See that one? I mean, she's a mother, but she has no romantic anything. Any of her roles, any of her roles, even prior to The Help. She's a brilliant person. She's a memorable person. She turns in a great performance, but she has no romantic anything. What's up with that?
From nothing to legs cocked open on the damn desk.
I'm saying
Have
I'm
we
like
heard
I
of
said, like
middle
I said, like I said. I mean it's a lot of ways to portray that, but you know, that's how Shonda gets down. That's how she gets down.
Okay. Yeah, aside from how Shonda gets down, I'm not. I see I see a pattern. Here we go again, a pattern. So you know my issue with Scandal was I missed the scandals and not the whole storyline about the president. I see this going down that same path. I see us going to be more involved with this girl that was killed and the husband and why they killed him and who killed him. When what I really enjoy are these little individual cases that she takes. That's where you get to see the brilliance come out. You know, how we're going to defend this client and did they do it and what the hell's going on. That's the brilliance of the show, but it's going to get sidelined by bullshit, drama, soap opera shit. And I hate that, but that is Shonda's pattern. So again, I go back to my number one. I feel tricked. I feel like they should have said another Shonda Rhimes production. I might not have been so quick to want to watch it. So um, I feel like to keep me interested and entertained, they're going to have to keep these little cases going. You know, I know that the big mystery is going to be the girl and the roommate and the husband and how they and the football player. But to keep me interested, you're going to have to keep these little side cases coming in as well. And before I thought about this, before people start sending me hate mail or hate tweets about how I can hate on Shonda and she's so successful and she's making money and I'm not, guess what, boo boo? That is the purpose of entertainment. I am the audience. Therefore, I have the right to critique and call a whore a whore. Okay? Okay. Want to put that out there before you got a little excited and beside yourself. So that's my catch up on how to get away with murder. I will still tune in every Thursday and we will keep talking about it. I don't ever want to see. I hear you about Viola in a romantic relationship, but again, I need some middle ground. I don't want to go from The Help to leg cocked up on the damn desk. I couldn't. I couldn't.
That was a bit much. I mean, that was a bit much. That was a bit much for me. Also, it feels like to me that okay, she's a brilliant attorney, but everybody does her grunt work. Are you really a brilliant attorney when I mean, like her students do her grunt work, her staff does her grunt work. Where does her brilliance come in again?
She comes up with the idea.
Does she really come up with the ideas? Because it seems like she pits the students against each other and they find stuff and they come up with ideas like different stuff that's in line with her outline. And
Hmm.
I mean, they basically do all the work. They're not, I mean, most of the things that they've come up with, I didn't see her say, look for this or look for that. It seemed like everything they found was like a new revelation that she had no idea about. And I'm like,
Hmm. Well,
I don't know.
delivery. Maybe her brilliance is being able to take what they've come up with. Because I'm looking at these five students she's picked, and I wouldn't put any of them up in an auditorium at a fifth grade assembly to give an award out. So maybe her brilliance comes in taking what the information they give her and being able to stand up in front of the judge or the jury or the defendant or whoever and deliver. And maybe it's in that. Maybe that's where her brilliance is.
Maybe because so far it looks like she just drains these students, and when she's done with them, she gets new students, new blood. I mean, it's just not. I mean, to me, it's like, well, if you're so brilliant, then why are you, I mean, are you doing any of your work yourself? I don't know.
She was the one who had the idea to bring up her boyfriend and throw his ass under the bus. That was all her idea. All her idea.
Yeah, that was all her.
You cannot
Totally,
say she
totally
has
make
not done
him perjure
anything.
himself on the stand. Yeah, pretty much. That I don't know how brilliant that's the kind of thing that gets you disbarred and sent to jail in real life, but
Right.
okay.
Because in real life, he'd have been like, I was throwing you. You know where I was. And we'd have laid all this out here to the pastor. But again, this is Shonda we're talking about.
Okay, in real life he wouldn't have risked going to jail for nobody. He would have put it all out there and it would have been in the newspaper and on the 6 o'clock news.
Hi, little person who wants to be on camera. You and your little. I told you we need to interview the little person. Give them their own little show. All right. So that is how that is my opinion and our update on how to get away with murder. The next show I wanted to talk about with TJ was Blackish with Anthony Anderson and Lawrence Fishburne and Tracy Ellis Ross. So my dad, Pop Johnson, uh, he's like, this show sucks.
Really?
Oh yeah, he hates it. And I'm telling him, you need to give it a chance. So I know a lot of people want to liken it to the Cosby Show. The first season of the Cosby Show was not the same brilliance as the third or fourth. Okay, it was not. A different world. Debbie Allen will tell you the first season sucked. They
Yeah,
brought her in.
they had to bring Debbie Allen in because
Right.
it was.
And she cleaned house
Yeah.
and fired everybody and brought in a whole new crew.
Yeah.
Writers, producers, all that. So you can't write a show off one of our shows. Because these other shows, I was telling him he watches a show he used to call Arrow on not Fox, but I don't know, one of those used to be UPN, I think. Anyway, that show is horrible. Has been since the beginning. It's not true to the comic. It's horrible. And I think it's in season 4, 6, maybe 3. I don't know. But it's still around. So before you write Blackish off, give it time to get its feet underneath it. That's what I'm saying. And have realistic expectations of a television show. Don't expect Bill Cosby from Anthony Anderson. I feel like the show is an Anthony Anderson show. The humor is Anthony Anderson humor. The Tracy Ellis Ross humor is Tracy Ellis Ross humor. So give it a chance. Look at it in its own space for what it is with its own actors, and then give it some time to get its feet underneath it. Now, I'm not real damn sure what's going on with Lawrence Fishburne. He's throwing these one-liners out, and um, I mean personally, I like him better as Furious Style, but you know, I think he's executive producer behind.
Okay, Furious Styles was about 20 years ago. So I mean, even Furious
On the corner
time
lot,
time
preaching
does
to the
not
people.
stand time does not stand still, even for Furious Styles. Sorry.
I'm telling you, that's what I like best. So, but honestly though, really people, give it a chance to get his feet underneath it. Appreciate Anthony Anderson for his humor. Um, like for example, in the first episode when the little boy said, "This kills me," when the little boy said he wanted to have a bar mitzvah, and he was going to change his name, and he was thinking of slow mo. I fell off the couch. I used to work for a man named Slow Mo. I like to die. That was funny to me. Um, Tracy Ellis Ross is not a comedian. I mean, she thinks she's a funny actress. I support her because she is the boss's daughter. You know, I support everything that is the boss, everything. And so Diana will not be disowning me over that child, but she ain't funny worth a damn. But again, Tracy Ellis Ross will give you Tracy Ellis Ross humor. Don't expect anything different than that. Appreciate it for what it is. Let her get her bearings. I mean, every other show she's done after Girlfriends, they ended it after half a season. Give her a chance to get this one, you know, going.
She's a good actress.
She is. She's not a comedian though. She's not funny worth a damn. Like, and when she said something about not being full black, and when somebody tell my hair and my ass, that was not funny. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. But again, I support all things boss. So Diana will not disown me for not laughing at her whack ass daughter.
Wow.
On to bigger and better things. You told me you found my used to be baby daddy.
Yeah, he's still in Morgan Stanley, so I guess if anything goes down over there, you will know what happened.
You've been a while. So for just tuning in or wondering what we're talking about, looking into politics. I don't remember what politician we were talking about, but I asked TJ earlier today, what the hell is Harold Ford Jr.? For real. He ran for every Senate seat he could. Where the hell is he now? And I found the same thing though. He's still over there at Morgan Stanley making deals with his pretty self. That's a pretty man. He corrupt as hell, but he's pretty. Pretty.
He got shaved.
Speaking of corrupt, I sent TJ a link. Bobby is from Huffington Post. Bobby Rush faces ethics probe after report on campaign spending. And I want to say, I have been telling you jokers for years, he was an inside man. I've been telling y'all he wasn't right. I've been telling y'all something about Bobby Rush wasn't right. All this time, I've been telling y'all. Oh, and now here it goes. So he is currently the subject of an inquiry by the Office of Congressional Ethics. Here it is. I'm skipping all the cooperative part. Here's the good stuff. News of the ethics probe comes after a Sun-Times Better Government Association investigation late last year reported Rush used campaign funds for the beloved Community Christian Church where he is a minister, and that he did not report any rent payment for his campaign office. Both possible violations of House ethics rules. But here's my favorite one. I remember when this happened. The Sun-Times BGA report also questions what had become of a $1 million grant that Rush helped secure from a telecommunications firm, SBC, to launch a tech center in Chicago's Englewood neighborhood. Now, when this happened, we got that grant money. It was big news because, you know, Englewood is a damn hood. I mean, it's not just the hood. They are killing people in Englewood. Now, what you'll say to me is they're killing people everywhere in Chicago. This is true. But they've been killing people in Englewood forever.
No, that's where Cabrini Green is, ain't it? Well, was.
Right.
That's where that was. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When he secured $1 million grant for a tech center, it was huge news. Okay, now that was in 2000. Huh. Since then, no tech center has materialized, and it is unclear where the money went. The congressman claims every penny of that money went toward programs for the Englewood community, but said he did not have records of how the money was spent specifically.
It specifically went in his bank account. I'm just saying.
The church's bank account.
Shoot, it could have went to overseas.
I heard y'all on last week talk about people hiding money in Ireland. Irish bank account. Instead of Swiss bank accounts, now we got Irish bank accounts. Okay, please. Mm-hmm. Bobby Rush on the investigation. And so, I just, so the reason I feel about Bobby Rush the way I do is because when you look at all of the other leaders in the Black Panther movement and during the Black Panther era, most of them dead. They either dead is still in jail, in exile. Asada's still in Cuba, can't come back. They still trying to get her ass for murdering a police officer while she was unconscious. She murdered a police officer while she was unconscious. She's still in exile. But Bobby Rush is a congressman. Catch this side eye. Like I said, I've been saying all this time he an agent. Now they through with his ass. They're about to put him out of office. Mm, mm, mm. So that was my first little political story. I had another one. Oh, do you remember, TJ, a few months ago when it was announced that when I said that the Chicago Teachers Union president, Karen Lewis, was going to be running against Rahm Emanuel for mayor,
I do remember
and I
that. I
told her
do
to sit her
remember.
ass down.
I
Right.
remember that as
She announced
well.
today through a spokesperson that she would not run for mayor. Right. Come on, you not. You not. You had a good run. You had a good run for teachers union president because at the time the person you were running against was you were able to launch certain missiles at her. You know, you had been in the school system, you had been a teacher, and you could identify with the people. And at the time, you know, the public school system was beginning the severe decline. I mean, it was already on a decline, but you know, it has faced a severe decline since that time with the closing of hundreds of schools. You know, letting hundreds of people go, closing schools. It's horrible, and it was on that initial decline. So you were able to say this person is ineffective in this position. I can speak on behalf of you because I have been one of you. So you had a good run there, Mayor. Uh, against Rahm Emanuel? Are you serious? You have no real clue about true Chicago politics. Because come on now, Chicago politics are world politics, okay? We know this. And you want to run against a man who put a black man in as
Okay.
president.
Okay. The
He did
brains of the
something that
outfit. Okay. All right.
he did something that
Okay.
nobody else had ever done.
Okay.
Call it what you want. He
Okay. He was
got
making them calls. All right.
right. And then
Okay.
once in office, got stuff done. He was the heavy hitter. He was the one who closed the door and said, "Look, MF, this is what's gonna happen, whether you like it or not."
Yep. When folks decide they want to get bold during the president's address and boo and
Yeah.
get smart and stuff, he shut that door and said, "Hey, I want the name right now," and dealt with it. Everybody
Exactly.
can't do that. Everybody can do that. And if you can't do it, please don't run against the person that can. You're just going to embarrass yourself. And what?
Exactly.
Just don't do it. Don't do
Exactly. You're talking about a man who, when running for mayor, went out on the train platform, told the photographers, "I'm not here for you. Back up." Told his security detail, "Get them off of here. I'm not here for them." First of all, the train platform is dangerous these days. You see they out there shooting. It was somebody out on the blue line, red line train platform with a damn rifle. He out there, t- not here for you people. I'm here for the voters. Come on now. You can't run against it. I called it, but which is so funny. They said she was seen as the best shot to unseat him so far, um, because she's been harshly criticizing him and his policies. She even dubbed him the murder mayor because of the city's violence problem. Now, she's had a lot of arguments with him about the school budgets and the closings and things. Have you heard the term "stay in your lane"? Education is your lane. You can argue with the mayor about
Well,
school
shoot,
budgets and
looking at the
school closings.
conditions of the schools, I don't think education really her lane. I'm just saying. I mean, just being, just somebody who reading the national news coming out of Chicago, it don't look like education is her lane.
But it's what she knows, supposedly. It's what she knows. You don't know anything about, hell, taxes. You don't know anything about How do you criticize someone over the crime problem and you have no experience with dealing with a crime problem? You're not successful at dealing with the crime problem in the school. I'm, I'm glad
Okay,
you
she
asked
can't
me.
handle the little. She can't handle the little criminals. So no, she can't move up to the big criminals. I'm just saying she need to learn to handle them little criminals,
She said she
and
can't
then
handle
we can talk.
it. Mamas and daddies alone, okay?
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Um, she was, what was it? She was admitted to the hospital earlier this month after experiencing discomfort. She was evaluated for a serious illness, but CPU officials declined to say more. Emmanuel issued a statement after her announcement, wishing her a quick recovery. Well, I want to say something so bad, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but she is, we're going to be real, okay? She is severely overweight, which could lead to health problems. You can't have health problems and be the mayor of Chicago. You might need to run quick. You might get some news that shakes you. You can't have health problems. You can't do that.
You know, it's been some people in that office with some health problems. Okay,
No, I
why
don't
you
know because the
tripping?
last mayor was
I'm
there for 39,000 years. Man,
well, his didn't kill him, but
well,
he wasn't in
his
the
wife
best
was
of
the one with
health.
the health problems. His wife was the one that had she had cancer, which is why he left. He wanted to spend his last days with her. But I don't know. I believe people used to say they could see him running down the lakefront. I think if he needed to, he could bust a little job. I'm just saying. I'm saying. So I had to give y'all an update. When I saw that one, I said, "Oh, did I call that or what?" Who else? Do they say who else in this is running? Um, names floated around. I know Toni Preckwinkle is not leaving her job as Cook County president. That is a sweet deal, and she got that one good. Emmanuel has already banked more than 8 million, while campaign finance filings show Fioretti has about 325,000. I don't know who Fioretti is. They didn't explain that one closely. Oh, here it is. Chicago Alderman Bob Fioretti announced his bid to run earlier last month. Um, Good luck. Rahm Emanuel has 8 million. You have $325,000. Good luck, son. What is next? We're on the political rundown. So I was talking to my dad again, and you. We have talked about this before. How we get caught up on the wrong shit. We get caught up on football players because I'm really tired of everybody jumping on domestic violence bandwagon now. Women have been getting their ass beat for a long time, but now everybody wants to jump on the band, and that's beautiful. But they'll forget about it next month when they go on to the next call. We get caught up in reality TV bullshit. Meanwhile, I'm steady asking everybody I know, where's Kim Jong Un? Because his ass has been
Should have asked Dennis Rodman. Ha ha.
hush, hush. He has been conveniently absent a lot lately. Now they say his sister is probably behind the scenes running the show. But here's my thing. When North Korea and South Korea get together to have peace talk and the leader is not there, why am I the only person asking where Kim Jong Un is? What? Come on now. So there's an article. Susan Rice did. Excuse me. Let me give official props. National Security Advisor Susan Rice. Okay, let me give her a full title. She did an interview on Meet the Press, and she said there's no indication that he's no longer in power, but obviously they are watching very carefully what's happening in North Korea. Um, she's convinced that he is still the leader of North Korea. He has not been publicly seen since early September. He missed the annual ceremony held at the shrine of his late father. Again, North Korea and South Korea sat down at a table and had peace talks, and the leader of North Korea was not there.
They say he reappeared today.
Really? Doing what? Where? Are we sure it was him? Is this like Weekend at Bernie's? Are we are we sure he was him, or did they have him with some sunglasses on and propped up and his arm up like this, waving? Just thinking.
Actually, a couple of places said he showed up for some kind of conference or something, and I mean, CNN, you got to take them with a grain of salt, but Reuters and somebody else who actually confirmed their stuff said that he had been spotted.
Okay. Well, now thank you, because I was wondering. I was wondering. I got. I know I have completely monopolized, but I missed it. I missed y'all. Okay, so I got. How many more things I got to talk about? I know I got one and a half. I have one and a half. There's a person behind the curtain.
That was my husband. I'm like, what?
I mean, really, like he's still there.
Yeah, he went back. Well, I mean, there's a patio doors behind the curtain, so he opened the
Oh,
curtain
I
and went
thought
out
that
on the
was the
patio. No,
window.
that's the patio.
I don't remember y'all having a patio, by the way. I'm just saying,
We have one. We have one
as I
now.
look around,
Hopefully, it'll be improved this summer, so it'll be really hooked up.
as I look around the house from the front door, I guess is it straight? The patio is just straight from the
It's
front door.
back. Yeah, it's straight from. Well, actually, the kitchen. There's a
Uh huh.
big patio door, and there's the patio. I mean,
I don't remember a patio. In the kitchen was the dining room table.
no, there. Okay, there's a kitchen, the dining room table. Behind the dining room table is the patio doors, and then the patio. Yeah,
Yeah, I never noticed the patio. But okay. And there was another. That was a little person. That was not your husband.
that was. They both went out. Now they're both coming in.
Okay. Hi, people. What else? So I was on the phone. Hi. I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and she was telling me a story. And I won't go into the story because then she'll know I'm talking about her. But she was telling me a story, and at the time I don't want to. I was reading news online, and I came across an article about Cornel West being arrested in Ferguson, and I said, "Damn, Cornel West was arrested in Ferguson today." And she said, "Who's Cornel West?"
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I said, "Never mind, just keep telling your story." I didn't have the energy to educate her on who Cornel West. I mean, really, Cornel West? I didn't. But I mean, that leads us into the fact that yes,
You could have said he's a teacher at Harvard. Ain't he still at Harvard, or is he at Princeton? I think he's at Harvard now. But yeah, there you
oh,
go.
look at the look on my face right now.
What?
Today was not the day for me to have to educate college educated black people.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
She has multiple degrees like I do. Today was not the day for that lesson. I
Okay, there you go.
Cornel West was arrested in Ferguson. There was a what I it reads like it was a peaceful protest, but I'm not. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened. Um,
Well,
and there,
I mean, there were a lot of people who been arrested so far, and according to the police, they were just these antagonistic, belligerent folks. According to their video, they weren't. So it could have been one of those situations.
and it might have been. The story says that this was actually the Ferguson version of Moral Monday. Remember we talked about Moral Monday in North Carolina? It's been going on for about a year now. So this was the first one in
Hmm.
Ferguson, the Moral Monday. And before the march this morning, the leader said that they were willing to get arrested. And then it says, you have to follow my line of thinking here. Because all of this ties into things we talked about before. We talked about Ferguson. We talked about Moral Monday in North Carolina. Here's one more thing we talked about. Many of them, including Cornel West, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Pastor Michael McBride, and many others, were arrested. So I read those things and I said, Jamal Bryant? That ain't, is that it? That can't be. Is that it? Yep. That's the pastor who gave the sermon about these hoes ain't loyal. You know what? Some people, unfortunately, just negate their causes by being there. And it has not been long enough yet for you to be out marching somewhere. I'm sorry. Because when I see your name, the first thing I think of is that? Is he? Did he? Yep, that's him. These hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, you in a bad place when every time somebody see your name, they thinking these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Your name is Pastor.
You in a bad place. You really are in a bad place.
You might not necessarily be doing the cause as much good as you think you are. Yeah. So I think that was my last story of the evening. What you got for me, TJ? What you got for me? What are we talking about next? What you got for me?
Well, the governor of Oregon, John Kitzhaber, he's running for re-election, and last week his fiance had a press conference, and she announced that about 17 years ago, when she was 30 years old, now she wasn't no kid, when she was 30 years old, she took $5,000 to marry an Ethiopian so that he could get his green card. Now, she may not get prosecuted because of the statute of limitations, but he's about to get deported. And the IRS is pondering whether they're going to try to get their piece off of that $5,000. And I'm like, really? Really? And she's been dating the governor. She's been dating the governor over a decade, and according to him and her, she never felt the need to inform him of that.
I cannot. Can you start over, please? I know I heard something. I know I did not hear you say that a woman at 30 married an Ethiopian for $5,000.
She said she had fallen on hard times. I'm like, I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not trying to go to jail. At age 30, I wasn't trying to go to jail. Well, I was already married too, but if I was single, I wouldn't be trying to go to jail.
Why would she tell it now?
Okay, they've been investigating her because she's one of the governor's advisors, and she's also a consultant of her own business. And people have, okay, what?
Was she his advisor before they got engaged, or did he bring his piece on to be an advisor?
Actually, they got recently engaged, so she was an advisor before.
So that's probably how they met. Okay. Help me.
Well, yeah. So no. So although it wouldn't be the first time it happened, but whatever.
Stop. Girl, if you bring up Kwame Kilpatrick one more damn time.
No, I'm not bringing him up. And he didn't invent it. He was just real sloppy with what he did. But
I'm joking. I am joking.
Okay, but anywho, the reporters were investigating whether she was using her position as an advisor to make money for her company and to grant access to different other corporate interests. So while they were doing all that digging and sniffing, they discovered her little marriage. They discovered her Ethiopian and her.
How long did they stay married?
I think minimum amount of time until he got his green card, which was probably 18 months to 24 months or something like that.
And this was how long ago? So now he's going to get deported. How many years later?
Almost 20 years. Well, he has an American education. He'll be okay. He can go to Canada. Keep it moving.
And the red cup is water, by the way, people, ice water. Here we go again. So we're gonna send the Ethiopian back 20 years later, and we still have little Guatemalans and Costa Ricans coming across the border, and we've raised millions and millions for them to assist them as they come across unaccompanied. Do you see why I have an issue with our immigration laws?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you okay, they're both in violation of the immigration laws, and they're supposed to be in the process of escorting these people back to their native countries in terms of the Guatemalans, El Salvadorans, et cetera, et cetera. They are supposed to be in the process of processing them and escorting them back to their country. This dude went and engaged in a sham marriage. He got caught. Now, I'm sorry he got caught 20 years later, but he sort of did some major law breaking.
Getting married?
Getting married under false pretenses.
Hell, people do it all the time.
Look, it's against
the coming on TV look here. With 5 damn
according to the immigration laws in this country, if you get married with the purpose of obtaining that green card, and as somebody who sat through that interview, that is a felony. It's a federal felony. Good luck with that.
Oh, I don't think it should be a felony. Not for him. It was 20.
Because he Ethiopian. What if he was El Salvadoran? Would you still think it should be a felony then?
The fact is not the nationality, it's the fact that it's so freaking old. 20 years ago, you know how much health care he's gotten by now? Let it go. Here we go again, focusing on the wrong shit in life. And meanwhile, you got Ebola coming over here. We're going to send this man back after 20 years. Yet, we got folk just coming on in. Ebola.
Well, he might not get deported, but he might. I mean,
he shouldn't get deported. And I would like to see a report on how many unaccompanied minors have been sent back home. How many have been processed and sent back home? Because that's why they're still here, so they can be processed and sent home. I would like to see that report, those numbers. How many are being processed and sent home? I want to see that. Before you ship that lovely man back to Ethiopia.
You don't even know the man. You don't even know him.
He's been paying taxes.
You know he lovely. You know he a lovely person. Even though he engaged in this big old illegal sham marriage that probably took the place of some law-abiding citizen of another country, but you think he a lovely person.
Oh my gosh, so do we have a quota? We can only let so many people from a different country get married to an American?
No, but we do have a certain amount of immigrants that are allowed in every year. Yes, we do.
Then how the hell are these little Guatemalans and Ecuadorians still coming?
They're coming, but they're not supposed to be staying.
Okay. I feel like the man has probably been paying taxes for 20 years. That's what makes him a lovely man. He could help me on some of this tax burden. Hell, I'm tired of paying him. Let him pick up some of it.
Maybe they'll give him a fine. Maybe he'll just get a big old fine. It's possible.
And why would it have to be a big old fine? He only paid him $5,000.
Because
why is that illegal? I'm sorry.
Because if he had not married her, he would have had some paperwork and he would have had a line to get through. Whereas he expedited that by marrying her. And you're not supposed to do that. According to immigration laws, you're not supposed to do that.
But help me understand why. Explain to me why. Why is it illegal to do that? To skip the line.
Because of the people who have to go through the line. Because of the people who because of the people who legitimately marry American citizens and they still got to go through all kind of crap and go through a line. Their relatives who they try to bring over to the country with the intent of fully supporting them, they have to be in the line too. I mean, there are a lot of law-abiding people from all over the world who cannot get through the vast queue that we have in immigration. And for somebody to circumvent that just by, paying somebody $5,000 and doing a fake marriage, that's wrong to everybody else who has to wait or doesn't get in. Because they try to do it the right way.
Are you so passionate about this because you had to wait in the line?
No, I think I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way because I would feel like, hey, it's not right for all of these people to obey the laws and go through the crap, and then people who break the laws, they're all good. That's still not fair.
Here's my next question. I was watching The Good Wife on Sunday. Love The Good Wife. And Alicia Flores was thinking about it, has decided to run for state's attorney. Her campaign manager handed her this big file about everything the opposition had dug up on her. When the man proposed to the woman, his staff didn't run a background check and discover that before the reporter, so they could already have the story ready in the defense. She's one of his advisors. She didn't go ahead and say, "Look at here, this is what might come up down the road. Let's talk about it now. Let's be prepared." She sucks as an advisor. I mean, really, she's no Eli Gold. She's no Rahm Emanuel. Put cap on that right there. We still wouldn't be talking about it. We would have never heard about it had that been Rahm Emanuel. Okay. I'm playing. People be playing with Mayor Rahm. Girl. All right. What else?
I wouldn't even get out of bed to try to go. I mean, I just wouldn't even get out of bed to even entertain that idea. Let's run against him. I mean, why? Why set yourself up for that embarrassment?
She thought she had the juice.
She ain't had a juice. Not only do you have to have the juice to run against him, you gotta have the juice, the connections, and be feisty, cause he's feisty. And like I said, I wouldn't even entertain that idea. That's a bad idea right there.
So she had the
juice. She was wrong.
Real wrong. And so on the news this morning, I heard, maybe not this morning, I heard on the news, but my dad told me yesterday that one of the healthcare workers taking care of the man in Dallas with Ebola, the quarantine as she's infected with Ebola. And here we go again. You have to help me with this one because you heard my struggle earlier. It's a disease that is transmitted through bodily fluids. There are several other diseases that are transmitted through bodily fluids. You don't hear nurses and healthcare workers getting exposed to. So what happened here?
Okay, I mean, a lot of people are afraid to say what probably happened, but I mean, they try to say, we don't want to blame anybody and we don't want to blah, blah, blah. But what probably happened was when he came in for treatment, even though the fiance's daughter had called and said, look, you guys need to be in hazmat suits, because the ambulance people were in hazmat suits when they came to get him. She was like, this guy is from virus country. You need to have your hazmat suits on. You need to take precautions. Now, I don't know if they didn't pass the note to the nurses. I don't know. Or maybe I don't know if the nursing staff at Texas Presbyterian, and it appears that they were ignorant enough not to entertain the possibility that it could be Ebola, because if I hear Liberia, if I hear Sierra Leone, if I hear those countries that have had these outbreaks, and you telling me you got a fever and you're from that country or you're from West Africa, I'm like, hey, whoa, back that up. Hazmat, CDC, we got a situation up in this piece, but that's not what happened at Texas Presbyterian. So I mean, they thought that maybe he had Montezuma's Revenge African style or something like that, and handled the situation accordingly. But AIDS is different from Ebola in that, okay, you can get infected by an HIV case um, as soon as they're infected with the virus. Ebola, you are especially, I mean, and maybe they didn't read their Ebola information sheets, but it tells you Ebola is the kind of disease, once they are showing symptoms, highly contagious. As a matter of fact, even after they're dead, they're highly contagious. The CDC, yeah, the CDC protocol is basically hazmat suits. Um, when you're being in a hospital, you're not in the hospital, you're in a room within a room, and the purpose of that is, upon the event of the death of the patient, everything that touched that patient gets burned. The room gets burned, everything gets destroyed. It's a virulent virus. It ain't nothing to play with. And I mean, the protocol is nothing to play with. So I just don't understand why, even in Texas, I know that they probably felt like they would never encounter an Ebola victim, but that disease, I mean, they've been studying it at least, I mean, at least 30 years, at least.
I think
And
more. I think probably
probably longer than that. I think since the 80s.
60s.
Well, okay, even further.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know that when I went to visit the CDC, they were studying it then, and they were like, it's the worst thing you could ever have on this planet. In 24 hours, you know, this is what can happen. 90% of the people that get it die. And the people that get it, you got two classes of people that get it and survive. You have people who are immune to it, and they have different theories, because the people who are immune, they're mostly in the Congo Republic, and they say that they haven't been exposed to Ebola. But some of the scientists say that maybe they were exposed to a milder strain, but they are immune. You have them, and then you have people with major complications for the rest of their lives because their body did everything it could to fight the virus and live. It is nothing to play with.
So how do you avoid getting Ebola?
Oh, as a matter of fact, another thing that they used to have a protocol. They developed a new soap to wash people who had been, I mean, even after the hazmat suits, to wash themselves. They used to wash themselves in bleach. It was the only thing that would kill the virus. Now they developed a new soap that won't destroy the skin like bleach will, but that was the protocol. It was serious. Even with hazmat.
Everyone that they have announced that has caught it so far, it has been in direct contact with someone in that region of the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're gonna catch you walking around the mall.
Well, actually no, because I mean, even though she caught it from somebody who was from Liberia, she caught it in the United States. It's a serious. I mean, it's virulent, very strong virus. Once a person starts showing symptoms, it's like don't touch them at all. Like, you know, have your hazmats, have your gloves.
I mean, but that's in a hospital setting. Again, how does the average everyday Joe walking around the street avoid? I mean, I guess how do you avoid coming in contact with? Like, dude, he got off the airplane. What? How do you protect yourself as an average everyday Joe?
Well, I mean, usually somebody with Ebola, they tend to have, I mean, they have a rash, red eyes, a fever. They're not your typical person. They're not like, I'm transmitting Ebola. No, they are like sweat-covered, rashy, red-eyed. They usually can't even walk around and do nothing to you because they are just in such bad shape.
But he did. He got on the plane. He flew to Dallas.
He was not, he hadn't developed the sickness yet. because if he had, he would have had a temperature, and they would have quarantined him.
So is it contagious before you develop the sickness?
They say it's not.
Okay.
They
I got you. I got you.
Lysol in my purse. Just saying.
I know you talking about the sofa. I'm like, we need to be selling that on the shelf. You know what? Thank you. Um, I think we've put it. I don't have a time as a so everybody watching us. TJ is controlling the production this week. It's just so weird for me to be on this end of it. So how long have we been talking now, TJ?
A little over an hour, so we
Cool.
could just, yeah, so we could just wrap it up.
All right. So you can find us online. We have a Facebook page that we're going to be updating. We have Twitter. We're working on a way where you can send us questions and comments about the show that we'll read on air, especially for our relationship show that Millette is planning. It will be something fierce, I am sure. And following the relationship show, we're going to be bringing you Sisters with Sense After Dark, where we get real and raw. Now, I don't know what TJ is going to do with that little person that keeps running around hollering and going behind the curtain. I have no idea. But
I'm probably gonna have to film this from the guest room.
so we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to Millette is recruiting men to talk about being married, being single, dating, etc. And then the next week when the lights go down, we're going to talk about S&M, bondage. You know what? Since we talked about it, we're gonna talk about STDs being safe. We're gonna keep it, what they say, keep it 100. Okay. Don't know. I think that'll probably be in a few weeks from now. Next week, hopefully, we'll finally do our book review on Infidel. Thank you for holding up the book review, waiting on me to get my life together. You can find us, like I said, on Facebook, Sisters with Sense. We'll be refreshing that. Twitter, same way. You can find us individually. I am Diva in Demand. You can catch me at divaindemand.com. Coming up soon will be pictures of the bedroom that has been redone, refinished,
All right.
the dining room, and yes, backed by popular demand will be the Thanksgiving dinner menu and video as Declare approved. I heard the queen, so I will teach y'all how to roast just go buy one if you don't already know. So you can catch TJ at tjstings.wordpress.com.
Or just.com.
Okay, tjstings.com. TJ Stings on Twitter.
Yep.
You can catch us on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Are you on
Me too.
Instagram?
Yep, I'm on Instagram too.
You can catch us everywhere. We are bringing the hot fire. So this is us. I am Diva in Demand. That is my big sister, gorgeous one. And we are out. Peace.